Good evening and welcome to ThaiPBS World. If you don't agree with the idea, then you would think it's much ado about nothing. But if you share the views of opposition politicians, then it's a matter of life and death. And finally, after weeks of wrangling, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha's most vocal critics will get what they want. A House debate on what they see as his biggest political blunder that raises questions about the constitutionality of his young government.
House Speaker Chun Lik-pai confirmed yesterday the House debate on the oath-taking controversy that has hounded the Prayut government for almost 2 months will go ahead on September 18 as scheduled. Prayut has fought hard to avoid the session, knowing full well what will be in store for him. But eventually he has apparently come to accept the fact that he is living in a new political setting and has to play by the rules of the democratic system.
อันนี้เป็นเรื่องของการตรวจสอบตามกฎหมายรัฐธรรมนูญ
House Speaker Chuan made it clear that the debate is part of the constitutional checks and balances process, which provides members of parliament with a platform to hold the executive branch accountable. But of course, nobody expects the opposition to merely raise questions or offer advice during the debate, as Chuan has suggested.
ที่เข้ามายึดอำนาจเนี่ยเพราะบ้านเมืองมันไม่สงบเรียบร้อย
It would not be a surprise if the one-day House forum turns out to be a mini no-confidence debate of sort against the Prime Minister on a wide range of issues. And Prayut knows better than anybody that he has to be prepared for the worst, despite 2 earlier developments that are seen as working in his favor. The decision by the Constitutional Court on Wednesday to dismiss a petition over the oath-taking controversy is certainly seen as a major victory for Prayut. The court ruled that the case is beyond its jurisdiction. It said in the statement that the oath-taking is specifically a matter between the executive branch and the monarchy. Government supporters interpret the court's ruling as invalidating the scheduled House debate. Somchai Sawangkarn, a veteran senator and a staunch supporter of the Prayut government, said the court's ruling is also binding for both the executive and legislative branches, meaning that the oath-taking issue is in effect off limits to the opposition MPs. The court's ruling came less than 3 weeks after an unprecedented ceremony held at the government house, during which Prayut and members of his cabinet received a written message of blessing from His Majesty the King before his portrait. Supporters of Prayut want to portray the ceremony as a royal endorsement of the government and the repudiation of the move by the opposition to grill the Prime Minister over the oath-taking controversy. But opposition MPs argue that both the ceremony and the ruling by the court have nothing to do with the House debate on the issue.
Piyabut Sangkanokun, Secretary General of Future Forward Party and one of Prayut's most vocal critics, insisted that the court's ruling makes it even more imperative for the House of Representatives to debate the issue. He said Prayut's failure to complete his oath of office has set a bad precedent, and he must be held accountable for that.
It was Piyabut who took notice of the omission during the parliamentary session for Prime Minister Prayut to present his government's policy statement on July the 25th. And since then, he has doggedly pursued the matter and eventually succeeded in getting the opposition bloc to ask House Speaker Chuan to agree to the House debate. The key sentence that Prayut and his cabinet members failed to recite concerns the upholding of the Constitution. There has been no explanation why the key sentence was omitted. Prime Minister Prayut has been largely evasive in answering questions related to the issue. Besides the oath-taking controversy, the opposition also aims to attack Prayut and his coalition for another alleged violation of the Constitution. It said the government failed to mention the source of funding for the projects it presented as part of its policy statement as constitutionally required. The debate, which will not result in a vote, is expected to be an open season for the opposition, which has been trying hard to put pressure on and undermine the legitimacy of the Prayut government since it took office in July. Even the scandal involving Deputy Agriculture Minister Thammanat Phomphlau, who is alleged by Australian media to have served jail term as a drug convict, is also most likely to provide the opposition with fresh ammunition to attack Prayut. And interestingly, on the same day of the House debate, the Constitutional Court is also set to deliver a ruling which will have strong bearing on Prayut's premiership. It will rule whether Prayut had the status of state official when he was appointed Prime Minister. A negative ruling against Prayut means his premiership would be null and void. In his first stint as Prime Minister after the coup d'etat in 2014, Prayut was also leader of the military junta known as National Council for Peace and Order, a position his critics believe is equivalent to that of a state official. A petition was filed with the court alleging that Prayut violated the constitution, which bars state officials from holding political office.
So for Prayut, September the 18th is certainly a red letter day. But as far as the House debate is concerned, it's not what the opposition MPs have to say that is important. It's rather how Prayut responds or reacts to their tirade that will be more interesting. And that's all for ThaiPBS World tonight. Thank you for watching.